Oh my gosh, it's surreal. I honestly don't even have words for it. I mean, obviously avenging that loss and, they ended our season last year and ending theirs this year, but on top of that, it's our last game at home ever, so it's just a really, really sweet way to go out at home, and I think that was the best we've played all around as a team probably my entire time here. So we picked a great time to do it, and I think that we have a ton of momentum going into next week.
Allie Berkery, previously been more of a defender, opened up your scoring today. What was the atmosphere like on the field after that happened?
Oh my gosh, a defender goal to start the game is just gives us so much energy. That was so sick, and I think that we talk a lot about throwing the first punch, and I think that that really got us rolling, and we just kept going after them, attacking every moment, and I think ultimately we broke their will. So I think we just did a really good job of feeding off of each other's momentum and the big plays that everyone was making.
Kelly said it seemed like Allie was playing fearless, she wasn't playing, to just kind of hold on. It was, we're doing this. Is that how the team's mentality is right now?
Yeah, I think, in the past there's been kind of an obligation when you're a Northwestern lacrosse player. Obviously, the expectation is that you win, and especially in the postseason, the expectation is that you're going to win and get to the national championship. But I think we've done a really good job of lifting that burden off of ourselves, and I think that's why we're playing with so much freedom and so much energy. And I think that we realize that every little thing we do is a small win that we need to celebrate. It's not an obligation. So I think that's making us play a lot better and with a lot more freedom.
Even though you guys weren't as strong on the draw as you were against Michigan, how is your guys' offense so powerful? I think 8 or 9 different goal scorers.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I think we did a really good job with watching film this week. We obviously didn't have a lot of time to do physical preparation because it was a quick turnaround, but I think we really studied their defense. We knew they were going to probably throw man and zone at us, and I think that we were ready for both, and we did a really good job communicating that switch up on the field. I think in the past we've kind of gotten a little bit frazzled if the defense is changing things up on us, but we really stayed calm, worked the ball around, and I think we wore them down on a lot of possessions. We kind of got goals late in the shot clock, which was huge for us. So yeah, I think that we just did a really good job of staying together, and obviously that's what's going to wear the defense down and get us those looks.
I have to say, you and Aaron, especially, I mean, even in the last quarter when you were already up by, 10 goals, still pressing really high, still putting on as much pressure as you guys would normally at the start of the game, which I guess is what you're supposed to do. But, how important is, one, the fitness that requires, and two, how important is it just to kind of, when you get in those leads and against tough teams like Syracuse that can take advantage of them, how important is it to just keep going no matter what?
Totally, yeah. I mean, first of all, we want to be the relentless team that breaks your will. So, we have no mercy. We're never going to let the foot off the gas. We're going to keep going and shoving it down your throat. But I think that, it obviously takes a lot of discipline, and I think that we're really focused on staying calm but also still attacking and just being smart about the way that we attack. And I think that we did a really good job of feeding big defensive plays into offensive plays, which in the past I feel like we've kind of struggled to do that. It's either been the defense plays really well or the offense plays really well, and today it was all around. So I think that that's something that we definitely want to continue going into next weekend.
And you played a key role in that 6-0 run that kind of spanned multiple quarters. What was key to keeping your momentum rolling during that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're the type of team that once we get rolling, we really get rolling. So I think it we've talked a lot about too, just resetting. Just because we just went on, women's lacrosse is a game of runs. So just because we just scored 4 goals, they could just as easily go and score 4 goals. So we can't relax just because we've been doing well at some point in the game. We know how quickly the tides can turn. And so I think that we've kind of taken on the mentality of whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we have to mentally reset and treat the next play as a complete blank slate.
Talk a little bit about the history of Northwestern and Syracuse and women's lacrosse in particular. Obviously you get the upper hand here in the last year of your career, but just what are the biggest memories you have from the rivalry with Syracuse over the years?
Oh gosh, well, I mean, obviously earlier in the season when I had the game winner in overtime, that was pretty memorable. That was a really, really cool moment. But honestly, this win is just probably the most special win ever to me, not just because it's the win to send us to the Final Four in my last home game, but I've just never been so proud of the way that we have played as a team. I mean, it really gave me chills walking up the field today. I was just wow, if we continue to play like this, we're unstoppable. We really are, and I've never really felt that so strongly before. So I'm definitely most proud of this win.
Yeah, going off of that, you guys have a ton of momentum going to next week. This will be your 3rd Final Four. What makes this group special? Think you can get to the championship game?
Totally. Yeah, I think that we're just taking a ton of pride in our preparation. We're not expecting things to just happen for us, and we're also not fearful of anything. I think that we have a lot of experience on this team. Like, no moment is too big for us. Obviously, the past 2 Final Fours have not gone how we wanted them to go, but like that doesn't scare us at all. And I think that we're ready for this moment. We've been through a ton of adversity this season. Like, I think last year was hard because we obviously were undefeated. We'd only played really Big Ten teams until playoffs, so we hadn't necessarily gone through the adversity that we needed in order to teach us the lessons that have gotten us to the point that we're at now. So we feel like we're playing our best lacrosse because of everything we've gone through, and I think that that's what's going to make us just shine in the moment next weekend.
Big crowd today, lots of other student athletes from various sports. I think I saw a ton from, football was obviously loud.
Yeah.
Men's golf was up there, women's basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were coaches up here watching on. What does that do for you guys, seeing the support? And then there's also a ton of administration and just the student body.
It's incredible. I mean, I think that, like, first of all, just being like a women's lacrosse player here, you feel important, and there's just people empower you because you're on a team that's good and everyone knows it and everyone comes out and shows support. I mean, it was really cool seeing field hockey also practicing on the way out to the game. Obviously, they won a national championship, so that's exciting for us too. And yeah, I think it means a lot to be able to represent this community. You know, they put us in a position to be successful, and obviously the home field advantage here, there's nothing like it. So it was really special to be able to perform and put on a show for them today.
You guys had a lot working on offense. What can you say for Madison's performance in the goal and the defense overall?
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. I mean, I was literally standing there on their straining line, like so pumped the entire game because it was just stop after stop after stop. And it was so clear that we just broke them offensively. Like, they couldn't get anything going. We held them scoreless for, 30 plus minutes. It was crazy. So I'm just super proud of how much pride they're taking in taking their game to the next level. I think, like, the same thing I said offensively applies defensively. They, like, really, really took ownership of just knowing their personnel inside and out, knowing what they were going to do, and I think it just showed so clearly on the field today. So, and I think they just have a ton of confidence in each other, and that really just carried over into the entire team. So I'm really proud of them, and I'm excited to see them continue with that mentality next weekend.